Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back. I hope everybody had an amazing day today. If you're new, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I am so excited that you're here. So today we're going to be testing out the new Fenty Soft Lit Foundation. I'm going to do a wear test on this. I'm going to be testing all the claims and seeing if it's worth the hype. So if that seems like something you might enjoy, please stick around because we're about to get into all that right now. Hello everybody, this is future me with all the makeup applied. I just want to warn you, this video is a roller coaster ride. So if you don't mind roller coasters, there's a lot of bumps and turns, and hopefully I can even edit this video to make it work. But if you enjoy a good roller coaster ride, please continue watching because that's what's about to happen. So like I mentioned, I am very excited to try out this foundation. And the reason why I purchased this one is honestly, I have never purchased anything from Fenty. I think I have a few lip products I got in my boxes, but personally, I have never purchased any complexion products for sure from Fenty. And the reason why this one intrigued me so much is a lot of those boxes were checked off. Things that I do look into when buying a foundation, like it's supposed to be transfer resistant, supposed to be long wearing, a medium coverage, it's supposed to be luminous. So again, a lot of those boxes were checked off. So that's why I purchased it. And I'm so excited to do this wear test to see how many claims stand true. So this is the product here. So you do get quite a bit. It says it has 1.8 fluid ounces. I got the shade, it looks like a 25. Now this comes in 50 shades and it retails for $40. So it's not overly priced, I don't think. I think that's pretty reasonable, especially being a high-end foundation. So yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, anything over, honestly, 25 for me is a little pricey, but you know, considering what's out there, this is one of the better priced ones. Now it does come in a frosted glass bottle here, and hopefully the shade is correct. Like I mentioned, there's 50 shades. I hope I did get this one right. So as you can tell, I've already done most of my makeup or my eye makeup, and what I used was this one here. You won't believe this. I repurchased this palette because mine broke so long ago, and it's by ColourPop, and it's called the Going Coconuts. I know everybody knows about this palette, but like I mentioned, mine broke so long ago, and I've seen it coming back out, and it just looked like something I had to have back in my collection. And I actually found this on Amazon, believe it or not. So that's what I have on my eyelids. And then I did use some falsies today, and I got those off Amazon too. And they're just little half lashes. I actually really love these. They're really easy to apply. And yeah, I think they're called a Zanlu Fly, but I'll have everything listed in the description box below. But yeah, it comes in a pack of 6, I believe. So let's get into this foundation. And I didn't use any primers today. Nothing. I'm not going to use a pore filler, but I did use this as my sunblock. It's by Kate Somerville. I actually got this sent to me. It has an SPF of 50 in it. So hopefully it does work well as a primer too. And it is a mineral sunscreen. So let's get into this wear test. I don't want this video to be too long. So I always say that, but they end up being long. So again, this is the packaging, and let's see the shade. I'm always so nervous what the shade's going to be. You know, hopefully it's going to be okay. So that doesn't look too bad. It does look a little yellow, so we'll see. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's going to be too bad, especially with summer around the corner. I will get a little bit of color. We're going to test too if this oxidizes, because that is a claim as well. And you know what? I just realized I didn't absorb a lot of my oils around my T-zone like I normally do, because I think that really does help. Okay, so I did place a little bit on the back of my hand just to see how this is going to work. Okay, I thought I didn't bring down my brush. I kind of panicked there for a second. So I'm actually going to blend out this side with the brush, and on the other side, I am going to use a sponge just to see if there's any difference. Now, blending it out, I'm seeing right away it is a more thin formula. So I think with the amount that I did apply, it's not going to be a full coverage or even a high medium. It's kind of like a high, a light coverage, if you ask me. So, but I would say that was probably even a half a pump that I put on this side, because as you can see, I still have quite a bit of product on my hand. But for lighter coverage, I think that looks really pretty. I love the glow that it's giving me from a distance. We'll be checking a close up and personal really soon. So now what I'm going to use is my dry Stands Out sponge. And again, I just want to see the difference if there is any. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the sponge. From a distance, it looks about the same coverage. The brush side seems to have a little bit more coverage than this side, but let me take a closer look. I don't know. It could be kind of messing or not playing well with that sunscreen. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't look like it's, I don't know, kind of, it looks like it's almost sitting on top of my skin is the only way I can explain that. Now, this side, not so much, but this side, I don't know, maybe the more that it sits on my skin and just kind of warms up to it, maybe it's going to melt into the skin a little bit more. But on, first impression, that's what I'm kind of getting. But we're going to, keep our eye on it for sure. But around like my T-zone, it kind of looks a little cakey, especially, almost went in my nose. Right around here, it just doesn't look like it's sitting well around there. So, time will tell how this is going to play. I wish I wouldn't even used a sunscreen, or the one I should have used is the one by Elf, because I really know that one does work with everything. I've never had a problem with that sunscreen, but I don't know. We will, like I said, we're just going to see what happens. Let's let it dry down for a little bit and just see if it does a change. Okay, so I do have a new concealer I want to try out. It was actually like a tester that I get from Sephora on the order. So it's by a Valentino. So I definitely want to try this out. It's just called the Very Valentino Concealer All Night Light Lasting Covering Concealer. So yeah, these are always so hard to even try to get any product, but I'm going to try. And I think I'm going to use maybe that shade right here. That one seems pretty good, and that's called LN3. Well, they don't give you a lot of product whatsoever, so I'm just going to grab a little bit with my brush. Hopefully I can pick, oh, you know what? There's more in here than it seems. So let's try this out and see how nice of a concealer this is. I can imagine a Valentino. This is pretty pricey. I'll put the price somewhere up here just so we can see how much this really is. So I think that shade is maybe a little light, and it goes on. It's very hydrating. I don't feel like it's a super high coverage. And to be honest, I mean, it's okay. I don't know if they put maybe a not so great of a product in these, testers, but honestly, a lot of my drugstore look very similar. So, I mean, I'm not being super wowed by it. It is very hydrating. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to see if it creases or anything, but yeah, it's just okay. It's just okay, honestly, for probably the amount of money that this, cost. Yeah, I would imagine that all of my wrinkles would just kind of disappear here. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, it's very similar to a lot of my drugstore concealers. So yeah, it's okay. I'm glad I tried it, and I'm glad I didn't buy the full product of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let's take a look, now that it's been sitting on my skin for a few minutes. I'm not seeing anywhere that it looks super cakey, except still around the nose. So yeah, just around here, it just does not look too good. So, but that's really the only place I am seeing some creasing right away or settling in this line here. So that's a little interesting because honestly, I've been trying out a lot of foundations and I haven't had that happen and that, wrinkle up there. Okay, so what I was thinking of for bronzer, I was thinking about using the Bronzing Drops by e.l.f. And I can't decide what shade I want to use because I do have a rose gold and I do have just, it's called pure gold. So I think today with the look that I have going on, let's do, it's kind of more like a cool tone look, I think today. So let's go with the rose gold. I've been wanting to do this just to see if you can. So I am going to shake this up just a little bit. And I'm going to place a little bit in my palm of my hand. And what I think I'm going to do is just place little dots like I would any other bronzer. And we're going to see how it works just as a bronzer instead of placing it in, products like a foundation or moisturizer. So let's just do this for now. And I'm just going to grab my brush here and blend this in. And we're going to see what this looks like. So yeah, I think that works really well. It just adds like a really natural sun-kissed look. It looks like I've been out in the sun, which is the look I'm kind of going for here. So let's blend it in here. Yeah, as I think it works really well as a bronzer. Let me just see if it's lifting the product whatsoever. No, it does not seem to be at all. So I do want to mention with this foundation, there are a lot of skincare products in here because it's supposed to, what it said, it was supposed to instantly change like the texture of my face, or I'd notice, what did it say? I want to word it word for word here. Improves a skin tone instantly and over time. So skin tone, what does that mean? I don't know. As tone to me seems like, your undertone, stuff like that. So I don't know. Again, with these wording with the foundation or these brands, they're being very, careful how they word things. Just like it's not transfer proof, it's transfer resistant now. So yeah, they're being very smart and careful with their wording, but I don't know with improves a skin tone what that would mean. So if you know, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm just I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm just going to place a little bit of that down my nose. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do now is just let everything dry down because I do want to test out how transfer resistant this is. I wish I would have done that before I applied the bronzing drops, but maybe I can find a place where, I don't have the bronzer on because I do want to see how good that claim is. So let's just sit here. I'm going to wait about, I don't know, 3 minutes and we'll come back, or I'll come back and we're going to test how transfer resistant this is. Okay, so while this is drying down, let's read a little bit more about this foundation's claims. Again, it does say it hydrates, brightens, improves skin tone instantly and over time. Again, I'm really confused about that wording. Waterproof plus resistant creasing, fading, sweat, humidity plus transfer. That's how it's worded exactly. So what I'm getting by that, it's waterproof. It's supposed to be creasing resistant. So not supposed to fade. Sweat and humidity. Resistant, not proof, resistant. It also says color to pigments designed to resist oxidation all a day. So let's try that claim here. So this has been on for quite a few minutes. So I'm going to put a fresh little dot down and we're going to see if there's any change. So you know what? That claim is pretty good. I don't see that it really did oxidize too much at all. So, okay, that's a good claim. I'm really impressed with that. So let's try to find a place where to try this transfer proof. So I do have my phone here. As you can see, it's pretty clear. And let's go about right here because there's really nothing there except the foundation itself. So let's do that. No, I don't really think that's a good claim if you ask me. Yeah, quite a bit came off. I mean, that's more than the other day when I was trying out the other foundation at the end of the night. There was less, transfer than that. And that was the Urban Decay one. That was pretty transfer resistant because, again, by the end of the night, there was hardly anything on my phone. So what I think I'm going to do now is apply powder just on one side, actually the right side. I always remember that. And I like doing this during my wear test just to see if the powder makes any difference for the foundation. So what I'm going to be using now is my Laura Mercier, and I'm just going to place a little bit on my brush. I'm just going to really tap that off and just apply a light layer of this powder I don't want to use too much, but I do want to get that little, there is a tacky feeling to that. So it really hasn't dried completely down, and it's been quite some time. So yeah, that is interesting because when it's tacky like this, I can't imagine it, holding up to sweat and humidity if it's not setting down all the way. So with the powder, it does feel so much better than this side. So okay, you guys, with these claims, I just don't know. Okay, and for blush, what I brought down, I have powder all over the place. For blush, what I brought down is my one by Milani, and it's the Dolce Pink. This is such a beautiful powder, and if you've never seen it before, it does have like, it's a baked powder, so it has like a glow in there. So I'm just going to apply it with my favorite Eco Tools, a 360 brush, and just place that high on my cheek here and towards the temple. And as you can see how pretty this is. And I imagine this is going to look a little different on each side because see with the powder how much smooth it looks. And then when you don't have powder, it just looks very vibrant. It's not as smooth as the powdered side. So let me just apply a little bit more just to see if that will make a difference. Yeah, just with the powder, it just looks completely different to me. Okay, so I am going to apply a little bit in my eyeshadow. I love doing that. I just like making everything look a little cohesive. Okay, let's take a look how everything is looking. Okay, I will say that Valentino concealer is creasing like a crazy. Let me come closer. It's almost like fading away too. So hopefully you guys will be able to tell how it's creasing. But let's take a look at the foundation. Again, this is the side here. There's no powder. So that's what it looks like. And then this side has the powder. I can still see a nice glow coming through for sure. So, yeah, I don't feel like it's a high medium. As you can see some imperfections coming through, and I did apply quite a bit of the foundation. Here it is still settling in that line up here. So that is a really interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. Around the mouth, it's really not settling in any of those lines too well. I do have a dry spot right here, it looks like, and it does look like it's clinging just a little bit. So yeah, time's gonna tell with this foundation for sure. Ooh, yeah, even in here, I got some creasing or going into those fine lines that I normally never get with foundation. So yeah, this is really interesting. I thought this was going to be really good with my mature skin. Now, from a distance, I think it looks really pretty, but up close, with my 10 times mirror, yeah, it's not so pretty. So, okay, so I am going to set this side with setting spray, and what I'm going to use is my Urban Decay All Nighter. Let's try that, see if that helps the situation. So I'm just going to apply a little bit and let that dry down. And I am going to apply a little bit of setting spray on my sponge and really try to fix up these under eyes because yeah, they look really bad. So yeah, I am so glad I never bought that concealer. If any of you have that, let me know what you think, because on first impression, again, I don't know if what they have, put in those testers are any different than the product, the full size product, but yeah, that is just really a bad. Yeah, I'm going to come closer so you guys can take a look and see what I'm talking about. As you can see on this side, it looks fine. The side with the powder, it looks like there's makeup on my nose. But this side, it looks like it's already coming off the nose, even through here. Oh, I don't know about this one. I hope I'm not the only one giving this kind of review. Again, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, though. It could not be playing well with the sunscreen. I wish I would have used my e.l.f. one. Honestly, what I think I'm going to do, look in the comment section. Tomorrow or maybe the next day, I'm going to wear it again without that sunscreen and see if there's any difference. And again, I will let you know in the comment section because I really think that this is going to be a bad wear test. But you never know. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is go off camera. I'm going to finish my eye look. And then for my lips, what I'm going to use is this here by Rare Beauty. I love this lip liner and shade, and it's in the shade Wise. What's great about this lip liner, it's retractable, and it does have like a little sharpener on the other end. So Love this. And also for my lipstick, I'm going to be using this by Rivi Beauty, and this is in the shade Lily. So that's going to be the lip combo. I'm going to do all that. I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, I'm not even completely done. I am so tempted to scratch this and just take everything off and try it with a different sunscreen. I feel like I'm not giving it a fair chance. Yeah, there's just something going on here because everything is separating. I don't think it's playing well with this sunscreen at all. I think maybe because it's a mineral sunscreen, maybe that's possible. Maybe it doesn't work with that. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. one. I'm going to wash everything off. I'm going to really go through this editing. Hopefully I can make it, work because I do want to keep some of this in here just to let you know, certain sunscreens will not play well with this foundation. I think it's because, again, what I mentioned before, if I have too many different skincares going on, this had skincare in it, the Fenty, so they're not playing well together. I don't think, or it could just not be working with my skin. So I'm just going to go upstairs, wash everything off really fast. I'm going to come back down. I'm going to put on the foundation. I'm going to skip through, all the other stuff, but I'm not going to be using this. I will tell you right now, this is not good. I do not like this whatsoever. It just looks absolutely horrible under my eyes. I mean, it is creasing like crazy. It looks like it's already worn off. So I don't know. I don't know about this. So I'm going to go wash everything off. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go through the same process. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I removed all the makeup and the only thing I reapplied was my Snail Mucin and my e.l.f. Will Glow sunscreen. So that is all that is on my face now. So if this doesn't work with what I have on, it just doesn't work with my skin. And I apologize that all that happened, but I do want to keep this real and I do want to give brands a chance. So it could be, like I said, the sunscreen. And obviously it just is a sunscreen that I would use at the beach or pool because I really did like it. I liked how it felt on my skin. So let's get into this right away. Again, thank you so much if you, stayed and you didn't leave or click out of here. So we just want to do, what's right for these brands and for you, as a consumer. So, okay, so I am going to remove the excess oils at this time just to give that an extra chance. So let's see if that makes any difference as well. There wasn't a lot because I haven't had everything on that long. So let's run through this process really quick. So I'm just going to put 2 pumps of that in my hand and do the same thing. Only this time, I think I'm just going to work on one side at a time. So I'm just going to apply my few dots like I normally do. I know I'm going to kind of be rushing through this one, but again, I didn't want this video to be super long and I just can't avoid it, I guess. I don't know. So I'm going to blend this in and already I could tell there's almost a different feel to it. It just seems like there's more coverage this side or this time. And I think I applied pretty much the same amount of product. I don't know. There's almost like a grip to that e.l.f. Will Glow sunscreen. I don't know. I absolutely love that sunscreen. It is amazing. Like I mentioned in previous videos that I hardly even use any primers anymore because it works so well as a primer. Okay, so I'm going to come close so you guys can see before I even look. I feel like, there's more coverage this time. And I don't know. It does kind of look like it's already starting to settle in that line up there, but I will say it does look better. It doesn't look like it's separating this time, put it that way. So let's do this side, and we're going to go through this very quickly, and we're going to use the sponge. So again, I'm just trying to apply the same amount of product, and let's take the sponge and spread it out. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the sponge. Again, less coverage for sure than this side. I'm looking in the mirror and honestly, I am getting pretty much the same outcome. Yeah, I'm just a little surprised. Now, this might work on, a lot of people's skin, but for my skin, it does not really care for this product. It just doesn't look good on my skin. I have so many other foundations, including ones, from the drugstore that just look way better on my skin. I will say it looks better than with that other sunscreen, but yeah, again, it's settling pretty good in here. It just looks, I don't, yeah, it almost just looks like it's not wanting to blend in with my skin. It just kind of looks like it's breaking apart ever so slightly, but it's not a smooth finish for sure. So hopefully you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about. Now, I will say it's not accentuating any fine lines or wrinkles. I love, the luminosity that it is giving. But there's something in here that is not agreeing with my skin, especially again, right around here, in that line up here, this dry spot right here. So, and I'm really pressing this into the skin. I'm really trying to, marry those two together, trying to really make this work. So what I think I'm going to do is go off because again, I don't want this super long. So I'm just going to go off and finish the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and see if there's any difference. Now, the only thing that I'm changing is I'm going to use my Benefit Boyne concealer this time. I haven't used this in a long time, so I do want to see how this works on my skin now. So, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come, go off. I'll come back, let you guys see what I did. Again, just remember this side I'm going to set with powder and setting spray this side, nothing. So I'm going to do all that and I'll be right back. Okay, so all the makeup is applied. I will say this time it looks slightly better in areas and worse in others. So yeah, I think this foundation is just not for me. Around the mouth, it just does not look smooth. It's just showing things that I normally never see. My nose, it already looks like it's coming off just like before. It's just not working with my skin. And I think if you are older and mature, I think it's just going to accentuate, the fine lines and wrinkles as it is mine, especially, like I said, around the mouth. This line here, it got a little better, but there is still some slight settling. Let me see. Yeah, it's still starting to settle in that line up there. So, honestly, a wear test is almost even, I don't know, it's definitely not going to last for sure. But I still will come back. We'll see what it looks like later. And yeah, so this is what it looks like. Again, from a distance, it looks okay. It's just not my favorite for sure. And the concealer is much better than this one here. This was, ooh, that was bad, 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 bad. So what I'm going to do now is I will show you what it looks like up in natural lighting. Again, I'm going to come back really quick at the end of the night. So yeah, I don't think it was had anything to do with this sunscreen, obviously. I will say I do love using these as a bronzer. So if you have this, definitely give it a try because it gives a really pretty sun-kissed glow. I love the lip combination that I did today. And I love that Going Coconuts palette. So, okay, you guys, I'll be seeing you in just a few minutes upstairs in natural lighting, and then I'll be back in about 8 hours. And hopefully we make it that long. Okay, so this is what it looks like in natural lighting. And I will say the longer that it has sat on my skin, it does look a little better. It has kind of melted into the skin a little better. This fine line up here, hopefully you guys will see the settling around my mouth. It just does not look the best. So that's the only areas I'm seeing a huge problem. Oh, and the nose. It just does not want to stay on my nose. So right here, again, where there's any wrinkles, it does not like it. And I forgot to share with you what time it is. It is 12:48. So when I come back later, hopefully it'll be about 8 hours. So this is what it looks like. Again, from a distance, I think it looks really good. It's just if you get really close up. So as you can see, a lot of the texture that it's giving, it's still super tacky on this side that it didn't set. This side is okay. So yeah, on the nose, I don't expect it to last much longer at all. And the chin. All right, you guys, I'll be seeing you about 7, 8, maybe 9 hours. Okay, it is now 9:30 p.m. We made it well past that 8-hour mark. Honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's still pretty bad. So I'm going to come really close so you guys can take a good look. Through here, it is settled and wrinkles I didn't even know existed. It just looks so bad through here. You probably can't tell with the lighting. I probably should turn these down, but trust me, it's really bad. It's completely gone off the nose. I knew that was going to happen. Over here, it's almost like bunched up and settled right in that crevice. It's pretty much gone off the chin. Actually, it's a little better around the mouth than it was earlier. So it did get better around there, maybe because it's completely gone. I can't really tell. Yeah, it just looks, yeah, this foundation does not like my skin. Now, I will say on this side, it looks better where I did use the powder and the setting spray. Over here, you could tell that it's pretty much gone off my face. So, yeah, it's worn off pretty good. So, in this case, the setting spray and the powder really helped the foundation. So honestly, I'm not shocked at this point how it looks. Again, it doesn't look that bad from a distance. Like if I'm looking at my mirror right here, it's not bad. It just, if someone was to come close to me right now, they would really be side eyeing me because it just looks not good at all. So yeah, I'm just going to stand by my review on this. I don't think this foundation is for me. I'm probably going to return it. If you're wondering why I have a different shirt on right now, yeah, I spilled dinner all over my shirt, so I had to change. Yeah, I was a hot mess today, and I was out shopping, and I was doing a lot of things. So this foundation was put to the test, but yeah, I think I will be returning this. It just doesn't work for my skin. Again, if you guys have tried this, if anyone has tried this, you love it, I would love to know. And I would also love to know your skin type because maybe that's a huge difference, but you would think that this would definitely work on somebody that has dry skin. Maybe not mature skin, but dry skin for sure. Yeah, I'm just so sad it didn't work for me, but that's how it goes. Some things work on you and some things don't. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you did enjoy, even though it was a complete roller coaster ride. But yeah, if you enjoy roller coaster rides, then you probably had a good time. All right, if you enjoyed today's video, please do me a huge favor before you go. Hit that like button. It truly does help me and the channel out. I can't wait to see you guys again. I love you so much. And until next time.